Ever get told lovely weather when it's absolutely pouring?
Right?
Talk about irony.
It's everywhere once you start noticing it, huh?
Everywhere, which is what we're diving into today.
We've got some fascinating pieces on irony and how it works.
Beyond just, like, the opposite of what you'd expect, you know?
It's exactly. It's more nuanced than that.
So, back to that downpour.
Yeah.
That feeling of, you've got to be kidding.
That's irony in a nutshell. That gap between what we expect and reality.
Appearance versus reality.
Yeah, exactly. Like a secret language we use to add depth, humor even.
Oh, for sure. Like, who doesn't love a sarcastic friend?
Right. But there's more to it. It's not just about being snarky.
I was reading this piece, Notes on Some Types of Irony.
Go, interesting.
It argued that any gap between what's said and meant, irony.
Ooh, I like that. So how does that actually play out?
Right. What are the mechanics of it?
Well, let's start with the classic verbal irony. Basically saying the opposite of what you mean, but in a way that shows you're in on the joke.
Like, oh, fantastic when you spill coffee on yourself.
Exactly. It's that shared understanding that makes it funny.
Reminds me of this time a friend saw my disastrous presentation.
Oh, no.
Said, well, that was memorable.
Ouch. The irony there is palpable.
Right. But you know they mean well.
Exactly. It lets us criticize or disagree.
Subtly.
Right. More cutting because it requires that shared understanding.
Now, if they'd said, you tore them apart, like a dog with a chew toy.
Okay, that's straight up sarcasm. Still verbal irony.
But with bite.
Literally. Sarcasm comes from the Greek sarkasein, to tear flesh like a dog.
No way. I did not know that.
It's true. So sarcasm can be playful or it can be meant to wound.
Wow. So is all irony intentional? Or, like, obvious to the speaker even?
Ah, great question. That's where we move from wordplay to situations.
Ooh, situational irony.
Yes. Like in those movies, the audience knows the killer's in the closet.
And the character walks right in. I'm always yelling at the screen.
Yeah. Exactly that. Don't go in there. Feeling. Dramatic irony. We know more than the characters.
So if it's about the audience knowing more, can real life be ironic? Like, is situational irony proof that none of us know what's going to happen?
You got it. Situational irony. It's like the universe going, nope, didn't see that coming, did you?
Right.
That disconnect intentions versus outcomes.
Which are usually totally different.
Sometimes hilarious, sometimes heartbreaking. But always like, whoa, we're not in control.
Like planning a picnic, spreading the blanket, downpour.
Exactly. Or imagine someone plans this elaborate proposal.
Ooh, I'm nervous already.
And the ring down a drain right before the big question.
Ooh, that's rough. But, okay, I get it. We've had fun with hypotheticals.
Sure.
But how does irony actually work in, like, stories and stuff?
Ah, you're ready for specifics.
Give me the good stuff.
Well, this cask of Amontillado we mentioned, prime example.
Oh, yeah, by Poe. I remember that one being creepy.
Poe was a master of irony, creating atmosphere, making you question everything.
And then there's that other piece we discussed, Notes on Some Types of Irony.
Right, right. What was it?
It talked about Emperor Hirohito's surrender speech.
Ah, yes. World War II, not exactly lighthearted.
No, but fascinating. Right, to use irony in that situation.
Absolutely. And it was all about understatement, which is interesting.
Yeah, how so?
Okay, picture it. 1945, Japan's heard nothing from their emperor this whole time.
Wow, tense.
He gets on the radio, defeats looming, and he says, the war situation has developed not necessarily to Japan's advantage.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
After atomic bombs. That's putting it mildly.
Right. It's what he's not saying that's so powerful. The devastation, the losses.
It skirts around it.
Exactly. Understatement to the max. The listeners are left to fill in those gaps.
Wow. So irony to save face, but also forcing people to confront reality.
Precisely. It's more than a literary device. It's how we cope with huge, messy stuff.
Sometimes you need that space between the lines, right?
Absolutely. Irony can be social commentary, political maneuvering, even a way to deal with the unbearable.
Like that dark humor when things are rough, you laugh so you don't cry.
Exactly. But back to Poe. That creepy factor in Amontillado.
Oh, yeah. What was it about his writing?
Verbal irony. Montresor, the narrator, leading his victim to his death.
And saying all this innocent-sounding stuff.
But we, the readers, are in on the secret, so it becomes terrifying.
Like when he's leading Fortunato to his doom and says, you are luckily met.
Chilling, right.
It's like he's toying with him, and we get to watch it unfold.
Exactly. Dramatic irony at its finest. We're in suspense because we know what's coming.
Speaking of coming, Fortunato. The name means fortunate in Italian, right?
It does.
And he's walking to his death. Tragically ironic.
Oh, for sure. Proof that things are not always what they seem.
Like the universe just messing with us.
A little bit. It makes you wonder, have you got any real-life irony stories?
Oh, tons. I'm like a magnet for that stuff.
Okay, gotta hear this.
So, picture this. Fancy garden party, right? I'm dressed to the nines.
Going all out.
Hours picking the outfit. Wanted to make a statement.
This is gonna be good. I can feel it.
So I show up, feeling great, open the car door.
Yeah.
Torrential downpour.
You're kidding.
Nope. Soaked, shoes ruined, the whole bit. And to reach the party, muddy garden path. Talk about an entrance.
But not the one you planned. All that effort.
The irony. It's like, no matter how prepared you are, life's gonna life.
It is. But sometimes those moments are the most telling, you know? How we react to the unexpected.
Totally. You can get mad about the mud
Yeah.
or laugh it off. It's just funny.
Exactly. And I think that's what's so great about irony in general. It's not just noticing those weird twists.
It's accepting that they're part of the deal.
Yes. In stories, in history, in our own lives.
And so you think twice about taking things too seriously, huh?
Right. A little irony keeps us on our toes.
Well, that's about it for our deep dive into irony. We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have different types, how it works, why it matters.
From Poe's creepy tales to, well, my muddy misadventures.
And remember, next time you stumble across irony, in a book, a movie, out in the world,
Take a second to appreciate it.
it makes you think, it makes you laugh. It shows you the world's a little more complicated than we think.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's all for today. Until next time, keep exploring those ironic twists and turns.